and we were all like hanging out in bushes, and the one guy is just playing like bluegrass like country over VoIP while he's like running through the
Green
field.
grass and high
Yeah,
tide forever.
we're like sitting there like, what the hell is that? And my buddy like pokes out of a bush and he's like, pop, and the music just stops, and we're like, yep, he's dead. Like,
Dude, that's the way to go. I would be playing like Kelly Clarkson or something, you know. Welcome back to ChknAtk, episode 11. It's been a week. What's up, man?
oh, just another week, another day.
Just another week, man. It's
Yeah,
just another
week in
day.
paradise.
So what's been going on in the gaming sphere? I mean, obviously we've been playing Tarkov. I've kind of fell off a little bit because just things going on, and the game's kind of getting boring. I'm gonna be honest. It needs to. They need something more to be grabbing me, because right now I feel like there's way too many games right now that are just doing something way too similar.
I mean, I can get behind that a little bit.
I need something different, man. I need some like a change of pace or something.
I'm just having so much fun with it. Like I love Tarkov. It's such
I know,
such
but
a
you
fun
also
game.
play with 5 people always. I have to play solo. It's a lot different when you have to play solo. Be honest, my opinion, personal opinion, better players play solo. I'm gonna just say that. Because you don't.
I mean,
you have to rely on yourself. You don't rely on everyone around you.
yes, I agree with that. I enjoy solo, but I have a lot of friends that play.
I just never seen you ever play solo. So
well, yeah, because every time that I do sit down and play, other people are on. So
well, you also your wife plays with you, so you always at least have a plus one.
that is very true.
I'm over here ratting on woods in night mode. But then again, I do have like what? I think I have 7 awful moffle scopes and 4 lead X's.
Where do you find lead X's on woods? I find ophthalmoscopes like crazy. I have so many of those, but I haven't found a lead X.
There's a lead X spawn in the med camp. Inside the metal container where the bodies are. If you run into the very back on the table, a lead X spawns there. And then at the USEC camp underneath the med table.
Okay, those are also ophthalmoscope. So it's ophthalmoscope and lead X share the same spawn.
Correct. But you can find I feel like you can just find ophthalmos. I just call them awful moffle scopes. I call them
hipposcope.
Yeah, I just call them awful moffle scopes. So I find those literally everywhere. I feel like they really boosted the spawn rate for those, and just everything else just sucks. Like,
yeah,
I have a hard time finding. I've been finding lions too everywhere on woods.
Oh my god, Jamie has so many lions. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I haven't found a single cat though. Not a one.
I have like 3 cats. I keep selling those. Like we keep doing shoreline and hitting. So our group has every single safe key on shoreline. So there's 2 on pier. There's 4 in cottages. There's 1 in the gas station. There's like 4 in resort. So we just go around and hit safes, and like we have so many people.
I hate shoreline with a fucking passion.
Absolutely, I love shoreline. Like that's my money making map. Like the stash running that place is so easy.
My new favorite map now is Interchange, because not only do I have Emercom Medical, I also have Ultra Medical. So
yeah, but the loot in Ultra Med is kind of garbage.
I mean, it's a lead X spawn.
If it spawns.
I mean, you can get really lucky and come out of there with like 3. I know that was capable last wipe, because a buddy of mine got it on a scav. He got Ultra Medical, and then we went and did it like the next raid, and he found like 3 in the same room. So
I mean, it's doable, but like every time that we've hit that, we haven't found crap.
You know what's really underwhelming now is
what?
TechLight.
Yeah.
Every time I go to TechLight, there's fucking like you're lucky you'll find like a gas Annie. You'll find like a PSU. That's it.
Interchange
Maybe
in
maybe
general has been pretty nerfed
yeah,
for the most part.
I feel like they're just like, you know what? Let's just take all the loot off all the other maps and just leave it on Lighthouse because we need to push this new fucking expanded area. Which
Have you
isn't even
gone to
that
the
cool. I feel like they everyone was so hyped for the expansion to Lighthouse. It's so underwhelming. It's absolutely trash. Like
we actually thought that the place looked pretty cool, and there's a decent amount of stuff out there.
it's
You
just way
need
too
keys
small.
to get there, to get to a lot of this. Well, they also don't have the actual lighthouse
Yeah.
like accessible yet, so that's going to open it up. But have you been to the water processing area? Have you been to the new places in the buildings, in the rogue
No, I
buildings?
haven't because I haven't been able to really run anything with anything to combat rogues.
So the rogue buildings, the building 1, 2, and 3, they have. So you've been in those buildings before, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how when you run in, it's big open, and then it funnels in the back to where it's got like the little catwalk with like the two little offices where you had to
Yeah.
do the two quests.
Sure.
So okay,
I've
you
never done
can
those quests ever.
okay,
I've just been
but
in
you
there
know what
as
I'm
as a
talking
scav.
about, the offices up there. Okay,
Right.
so you can now go behind those offices, which allow you to exit the building on the second floor. There's like 4 different rooms on each side, as well as 4 rooms on the bottom of them with
Okay.
side door entrances as well. So like you can get in and out of those buildings like 4 or 5 different ways. And
Yeah.
you can get up on the roofs now too. The exterior ladders are open now. There's no longer trash blocking the way. So you can
Okay.
run up there and loot the rogues that you kill on top.
Sure. I just been running over there as a scav and just picking stuff off bodies.
I don't
Because
know if
chances
you're
are
aware.
you will always find dead rogues, or and sometimes you'll find dead players and stuff like that. And I usually come out of there with a pretty decent amount of loot off of the rogues. Because I mean they're pretty kitted.
Yeah,
they're
they are.
running EKs with. I mean if you're lucky you can find BP.
Oh yeah, I find BP on them all the time. I don't know if you're aware, but the rogues, they are not considered scavs. Like they're not considered part of the scav faction.
I
So
know.
as a
I know
scav, you
that.
can kill them without penalty.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. I
Yep.
didn't realize that until
Same thing
this.
with raiders.
Okay. I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, because raiders are not scavs.
The Raiders.
They're technically they're technically just other USEC.
Yeah. We we didn't realize that some of the rogues can spawn out on the lighthouse, like the new expansion area. So like we're
Mm-hmm.
running around out there and we just hear USEC voice lines like "Scav over there," and we're like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Dude, I went to my buddy and I that I've been playing with, we scabbed in to Lighthouse, and he's like, "Oh, you want to go see the grow room?" I was like, "Oh, sure," because we spawned over there. So he takes me over to the grow room, and he's like, I don't even. I've been in here like once, and usually it's pretty looted." And so we go in there. Fuck, there's just injectors all over the ground. A bunch of like we ended up finding an iridium, uh, all sorts of shit in there. Just
oh yeah,
and this is like we had like 9 minutes left in the raid or something like that, and it was like completely just not looted at all.
yeah. There's loot all over the place now. On Shoreline again, I found a whole bunch of stuff out
Yeah,
on
and
I mean
shoreline.
not Shoreline, sorry, Lighthouse.
There's always been loot on Lighthouse though.
Um, I found an iridium, a vertex. I found like mag suppressors, like all kinds of good shit out in the new area.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah, it's a
every
blast.
once in a while, you can find like it. Um, my buddy was telling me that he scabbed in and he went over to where the rogues are, and he found a player who died from probably one of the rogues, but he was carrying that new the AXM sniper rifle.
Oh, the 50 cal one? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the 338.
What? Yeah, I mean, 50
Yeah.
cal.
That's not
Close enough.
50 cal.
It's
It's 338.
Lapua is a 50 cal, isn't
It's 338. That's the caliber.
it? Yeah, that's like saying
Please tell me about weaponry.
that's like saying 7.62 by 51 is 308.
Okay, the caliber for a 338 is
Like
not 50 cal.
M61 7.62 by 51 is 308, right? That's correct.
6.2
But
is
Lapua, what M62 is 7.62 by 51.
7.62 5.1.
Yeah. Which is a 308. One is a like metric standard and one is
Right,
a
one's a
US
NATO.
standard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're the same, like more or less. So
It's
let
not.
me see.
338 Lapua is not 50 cal.
No,
Close.
it's not. I'm looking at an
338
image
is
right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
as big as you can get is 50 cal.
Yes.
The round is like this big.
I mean,
if
it's like
you're talking
half
like
the size.
standard personnel carry,
Yeah.
right? Like when I was loading gun systems on aircraft in the Navy, we were loading like rounds like this big into feeding feeding channels.
So
So
I
you can get
totally
fucking.
am very wrong.
I was
there.
like, wait a second, there's no way, because I understand what you're saying by the 7.62 and the different standards there, and the 308, right? But no, 338 Lapua is different. They are hinting at making 50 cal weapons in Tarkov, but that's, I mean,
What?
that's pretty much that's
I'm looking. Oh my
Nikita.
god.
Because what was it? What Nikita said something like he's thinking about adding other bullshit. Oh wait, no, there is already 50 cals in Tarkov. The machine guns. The mounted machine guns. The mounted machine guns. I mean, you're it's just it's a 50 cal. Yes. They have the belt fed grenade launcher, and then they have the 50 cal. Yeah. Oh man. The what? Are we looking? Why does it look like a butt plug? Oh. Yeah. Wait. The 14 wait, are you talking about the the anti-tank round? The one with the green head?
That must be a
The
different
20
picture.
by
Oh
1.38.
no, that one's different. Jesus Christ, I didn't even
Yeah,
see that. No, the one right next to that one.
Yeah, that's an anti armor.
Well, I mean,
Like
sure,
light armor and stuff like that.
sure, yeah, let's go for it.
Hold on. Let me look at this picture again.
Just shoot people with that. That'd be great. I'd have fun with that.
The 14.5 Soviet.
Yes.
Fuck.
Like, just look at the size of the casing.
Yeah,
It's for our listeners, the casing.
I've shot the 408 ChknAtk.
So hold on.
That's pretty good.
The first measurement, 14.5, is the millimeter. No, is that centimeter? That's not centimeters. That's millimeters. That's the millimeter of the round of the projectile.
Correct. I think the 144
that's the
is
length.
the grain. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna make that.
I have no idea. We're sitting here trying to like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I worked
with our. Oh.
Yeah, my Discord just automatically just like on me. That was weird. Oh, am I still here? Oh. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. There I am. Jeez. I clicked out and tried to click back onto Discord and it just turned my Discord off. I don't know what just happened. No. Yeah, on this beautiful sunny day, it's just storming outside. Wow, speaking of Stranger Things, there's the episode 11.
Things. Yep. Episode 11, character 11.
Character 11. Okay. Anyways, I want to talk about something.
Okay.
And
what are we talking about?
You know how that we live in this weird world where, PC Master Race and the console plebs and stuff like this, right? I will safely say that I have found one true advantage that consoles have over PCs, and that is the fact that you don't need to have a separate fucking launcher for every game. I'm so sick of buying a game on PC and it's like, okay, well, you have to go and you have to open up this special launcher that is like, okay, this is literally going to be the only game I ever play on this launcher. So why can't we just find a nice place where, similar to Steam, where it just takes all your Steam games, all your Epic games, all your Origin games, wherever, and just puts it into one fucking launcher. I'm so sick of having 20 different launchers.
I mean, you can put them into Steam.
Can you?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird way of doing it, but it's doable.
So I could go and I can take Tarkov and put it into Steam?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to
so
Google
on
this.
Steam, when you open up the Steam window in the bottom left, there's like add game to library, and it gives you a couple different options. It says like use a code, do whatever, and then it says add non-Steam game, and then you just point it to the shortcut of the game, and it adds it to your Steam
I'm gonna
library.
have to do that because I'm getting sick of having like, because I heard about the PTR for Diablo 3, so I wanted to go check it out and see what's coming up with season 27, because it's speculated to be the best season by far because of just what they're adding to it. No idea what they're adding to it, by the way. I just hear from people that love that game so much that it's speculated to be the best season. So I was like, okay, let me go check out the hype because I have PTR access. So I went to go check it out and I was like, fuck, I had to go and start up the launcher. So I had to go and start up the launcher, and then my friend's like, oh, come play Tarkov. So then I had to go and like get on a separate fucking launcher just to come play Tarkov. And then I find out that for the beta tomorrow for Marauders, there's their own fucking launcher for that, even though I bought it on Steam. So I'm just so sick of just like 20 different launchers. And then, by the way, BattleBit has its own launcher. I'm so tired. Listen, and I bought Battlefield 3 again because I wanted to play the reality mod, or whatever it's called. And that has its own launcher too. So I'm just fucking surrounded by launchers. So the biggest advantage of console is that you don't have to worry about having a launcher for everything because the console is its launcher.
what about console exclusives? Then you can argue that needing another console is its own launcher.
We need to just go away from these. We need to move away from console exclusives. It's fucking
100%.
pointless.
No,
It,
I agree with that, and I've agreed with that for a very long time.
it is one of the biggest bullshit things ever. Because
If we're being
technically
honest,
Xbox, yeah, I mean,
it's anti-consumer, is what it is.
yeah, it is, and I agree with that 100%. But also, it's like you, like for example, Xbox, right? Xbox has this thing where you can play Xbox games on the PC. That wouldn't be exclusive. So anytime like at like E3 or any of these like gaming conventions, it's like Xbox Premier console exclusive. And then at the very end, it's like of the show of the trailer, it's like also on PC. It's like, what? Come on.
Well, I think they've been getting good about that though. I think recently they've been saying like Xbox exclusive, which means that it's exclusive to Xbox as a platform. But the ones that say
Right.
console exclusive are
Right, but
specifically
it's not
only
Xbox
for
exclusive if you can play it on PC.
well, the ones that say console exclusive are only for console.
Right. So what you're saying is to be able to play these Xbox exclusives on PC, you have to go and start the Xbox launcher. I'm fucking done.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. We need to move away from exclusives. We need to just I think Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox need to just collaborate and just make one ultimate console that's also on PC.
So talking about consoles and streaming and like where you can play Xbox games, did you see their most recent hardware
Who's
partnership?
they? Can you explain they?
Microsoft's Xbox hardware partnership.
No. What's going on with
So I forget what the name of it was, but I'm sure you've heard of it. They were working on a streaming stick, like a la
that?
yeah, Stream Stick.
Stream Stick. Sounds like a South Park.
I'll show you my Stream
Sphere.
Stick.
Hey. Listen, don't be streaming your stick on Twitch, okay? You'll get banned.
Stream Stick, Cream Stick.
Moving on.
So anyways, yeah, they
quick edit.
I totally lost my train of thought talking about
cream
sticks.
Xbox
they partnered with Samsung to the new Samsung smart TVs come with an Xbox app, an Xbox Game Pass app that you can connect a Bluetooth controller to your TV and just play Xbox games through your TV.
That sounds actually pretty good. That sounds cool.
It's a really awesome idea. Have you used?
But then again, can't you already do that?
What? I mean,
I'm pretty sure. Doesn't Xbox have a thing where you can automatically just pretty much Chromecast it to a PC to a monitor?
Yeah. If you have Chromecast, yes, you could run it. You could run Game Pass on your phone, connect the Bluetooth controller to your phone, and then cast the phone to the TV. Yes,
this is old tech, is what you're saying.
Well, no, because this is literally running native on the TV, so you cut out a bunch of input lag. But then there's another way that you can play Xbox games. So not only you could play them on a tablet, you can play them on a Chromebook, you can play them on anything that has a web browser, because the Xbox Game Pass xCloud streaming is what they call it. You can just log into the website and play the games in a browser now too.
In a browser. Okay, so now you can be like, oh yeah, is this new God of War? Yeah, I just got it on my browser.
I did that at work actually. So like,
don't you work from home?
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Yes, I play video games at home too. I mean,
2 days a week I go into the office, but I was like on my lunch, I'm like sitting there like walking around the office. I'm like, okay, I want to just like hang out and do something on my lunch. So I took my controller, connected it to my work computer, and just logged into my Xbox account, and I was playing Hades in a browser.
Hades is such a good game.
It's great, and
Great game.
it's a fast-paced Twitch roguelike, and I
Yeah.
was able to actually progress in the game playing it in a
Wow.
browser. That's how well
But
their offering
the
works.
thing is, you always progress in that game. You don't really lose because every time you
Ok
die, you just
So,
it's
okay,
similar to like
here's what I'm
Dead
pegging it
Cells.
against. Like, yes, Dead Cells. I tried playing it on the xCloud or on the Xbox Game Pass app on my phone, and
Yeah.
I wasn't able to. The input lag and the render lag from cell internet wasn't good enough. But playing it in a browser on wired internet worked just fine.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about that. Like that's I mean, if I just want to play some Xbox games while I'm at home visiting my family, I could just
Right.
load up a browser and play.
When I don't want to be sitting around with my family and I just want to be playing video games, of course I'm just gonna
As my
load up some
brother,
video games and I'm just gonna say, all right, guys.
as my brother is in chat.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a family gathering. I played Hades all weekend. It's like, wow, great family
Yep.
event.
While you're sitting outside, everyone's barbecuing. You're just sitting there by yourself.
But then again, that actually does sound like us sometimes when we go to like barbecues over at family's house. We're just like, okay.
Yep.
So what have you been playing lately? I'm like, oh, I'm playing this mobile game, and you're like showing me a game on your phone that you're loading up from your Xbox. And it's
Yeah,
like,
everyone else is having conversations that we're like not really interested
can
in,
you?
so we're like, so
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for Tarkov to announce their PC or their mobile port for. Can
they
you
have talked
imagine?
about doing not a
Oh
mobile port,
fuck
but a
me.
mobile app that allows you to do hideout management on the go.
Hideout management?
Yeah, so you could like they said that you weren't going to be able to do any flea market stuff, but if you have the items, you're going to be able to like start crafts like
No, no. They need
yeah.
to add the flea market because if you think about it, to go back to Tarkov, I know people kind of get upset that we move topics and then quickly come back. Um,
It's
but
our podcast. We can
yeah,
talk however we want.
I know. But the thing is, that is a separate game in itself. Is the flea market going on bartering shit that you have? Not bartering, but like just the flea market in general. Going through and selling things, and then buying things, flipping it around, and that kind of stuff. That's a whole
It
game in itself. They
she's
need to.
organizing your stash is a whole
I
game.
know. Well, I mean, it is. It's called Tetris, and it's been out since the since the what
70s?
well, I was gonna say 60s, but
I don't know if
maybe
it dates that
70s.
far back.
Okay, well, we're gonna have um. It, can we get Jamie? Can you look that up for us?
1984.
Say again.
1984.
We were both wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, but but did you hear? Speaking of PC gaming and stuff like that, just the PC market in general is just declining right now because of not just because like the chip shortage and stuff like that, but there's like the war on Ukraine and inflation and stuff like that. But also a huge cause of it is the decline of Chromebooks is creating a 12.6% decrease like year over year decline in PCs.
I mean, I could see that because the Chromebooks themselves will do what 90% of PC users need.
Right.
Actually,
Well,
90 is pretty inflated, but
I mean,
you catch my
right, but because I mean, that's just the PC market. That's not even including like PC gaming and stuff like that. Because PC gaming's down too. And this is
as
a
what I've seen is PC gaming is up.
no, it's down. So Gartner, I believe, is the name of the people that did the research for this. They found that the PC market in general is down 12.6%. And a small fraction of that is also from PC gaming. PC gaming is down. So, and
You sure
it's
about
just
that? Because
yeah,
I'm
it's
looking
because
at
well,
it right now. A number says that it's
it has to
despite
do with
slowing, it
right.
is still going up. It's plateauing, is what it is.
Okay,
It's not increasing.
but
That's what the number is it's not
right,
increasing at what it was originally projected to increase at.
right, and then part of that
Okay.
was because of the then yes, then you're correct. But a part the what I was reading is it's because of the chip shortage, but
Yep.
also the like graphics cards and stuff like that, which I think will get better now that crypto is down and a lot of
Oh
those
yeah,
cards are now being released to the public and they're not being
well, you can actually buy cards at retail now. Like my buddy just bought a 3090
yeah.
at retail. Like
Here's the thing: are 3090s still? I mean, yes, I obviously they're worth it, but are they? You know, because I feel like a
you
3090
don't need
and
a
a
3090.
3080 Ti. You can get a 3080 Ti, right? I feel like
Yeah,
those are
you
like the
can.
same damn thing, right?
Um
Maybe just a few. Fuck, what's the word I'm looking for?
a few bells and whistles more.
Yes.
No, the difference literally is double the VRAM. The processing
Okay.
power is the same, but the 3090 has 24 gigs of VRAM, where the 3080 Ti I think is 16. So a little bit less than double, but yeah, that's your difference is VRAM.
Okay. Right, but I mean that's
The only reason you need a 3090 is if you're doing like hardcore rendering or something,
right.
something that's going to take a
Or
lot of RAM.
hardcore rendering or what's it called? Um I cannot fucking think today.
If you have like 4 instances of Tarkov up at once.
Well, no, because like a lot of the time, like with graphics cards and stuff like that, people always just assume people when you see like SLI of like multiple
Yeah,
high end
that
graphics cards, people just assume it's for gaming. It's not. It's for like it. What's it, fuck, what is it called? Deep learning. There you go.
oh, like yeah, machine learning stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly for that. That's what it's for. It's not
Well,
for gaming.
the RAM, so the machine learning is actually done not on the RAM, it's done on the tensor cores, which I think the 3090 has more tensor cores than the 3080. But yeah,
Wasn't
that's
it?
a whole different
Wasn't
talking
it for
about.
a while there before like the 3090 came out? Wasn't there a thing where people were buying they were buying lower end graphics cards because they were better at mining? They were actually like buying
Yes.
other cards rather than the mining cards because they were actually faster at mining crypto than the mining cards were.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
Yes.
that. That was the beginning of 2020, I believe it was.
I don't remember the exact time, but yeah, it was around
It was
then.
around that time. But yeah, so I read about that today. That was like about the PC market going down and stuff like that. And then on other news, speaking of declines and stuff like that, Unity, the company that makes majority of our mobile games, just laid off 4% of their force.
Well, I mean, they don't make the majority of the games. They
Right,
make
but
the game
it
engine that powers the game.
yes, that's you get what I'm saying.
Unity is a beautiful engine, and it does not get enough. All right, here, let me preface this. Unity, in its current state, right now, I
Until
can't
the
talk.
merger.
Yeah, I can't talk about the future, but right now,
Hmm.
it is a good tool. But tomorrow, I'm switching to Unreal.
Well, no, check out Godot. Apparently Godot is growing.
Is it? Is that? I don't. Yeah, I don't like that engine just because of the way that it
I mean, you
it's
can if
it's
you
a
can learn
weird. Yeah, it's a weird. Their structure for doing their stuff is very weird,
right.
but
Yeah,
it
I
is
get it.
very powerful.
I mean, I just you never hear everyone knows also
Is it?
you just hear everyone talk about Unreal, Unity. You never hear anyone talk about anything other than those two right now.
Well, okay. I've never heard anyone like So I'm in the game industry, like I'm around this stuff a lot. I've never heard someone pronounce that engine. Like I've read about it, I've seen stuff, I've even played with it, but I've always called it Godot.
Godot.
But
Godot.
it is I'm not sure what's right and what's wrong. I have no idea.
I'm going with Godot. You go with Godot. One of us is correct. Let us know down in the comments. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I have no idea, but
Definitely
it is a
Godot.
cool engine. They're doing
But
some cool stuff.
so the layoff, right, is coming before their merger with uh Iron Source, I think it's called. Is it
Yes,
Iron Source
which
or Iron Horse?
I think it's Iron Source, which
Okay.
they are
They are a
known.
monetization company.
What? Yeah, their their monetization like a CDN, like a content delivery
Right.
network,
Mhm.
and they were in hot water a couple years ago for packaging, um, not exactly malware, but like grayware shit
Well,
that you
they're
don't,
they're
you know.
they're they're in charge of, remember back in like the old days and like Windows XP and stuff like that, where you could go and it'll just pop up like a different a tool, not tool tip, but like a
The toolbar.
toolbar,
Yeah.
right? And they make all those different toolbars that
Yeah.
just slow down your computer.
Yep.
That's what Iron
Yeah.
Source is all about.
Yeah. They take a executable and they repackage it with that shit, and then
Yep.
they put it out. Like,
Yep.
so everyone's like, Unity's partnering with a malware distributor, and I'm like,
Yep.
that's not exactly true, but you're also not exactly wrong. Like,
Right. So this is so the reason why what I read. Okay. By the way, the links will be in the link dump below. After the show or when the show goes live. So if you want to read about it, you can Google about their merger with Iron Source. But apparently, from what I read, the merger is happening because they're going to be helping Unity and people that like distribute like make games with Unity. Is it's They're gonna help, or they're gonna create tools to help game devs monetize their games. And then uh, I think it's like the CEO or the president of Unity, the person that runs Unity, just went out on record and said that game devs that don't monetize their game are fucking idiots, is his quote. So it's
what if us artists just want to share our art?
right. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's just
Like, shouldn't that be our choice? Like, I don't give a shit if some stuff is
my
monetized.
game, my choice title.
Moving on.
I mean, technically, yes. I
Um,
mean, but no. So I can see where the merger would be beneficial, especially for those smaller indie devs that they may not know how to monetize their game and such like that, and it's supposed to be a tool to help them learn about um setting up monetization before the game is released rather than after.
well, Unity already had that in there. Unity has monetization and
R-
everything built into it. Like, they have an entire monetization backend. They have a build pipeline. Like, they have all that
Right.
shit there. So,
Right. But
like,
the this is supposed to create more tools to help them monetize before the game is done. So you build it off of the monetization scaling rather than the
yeah,
game is built
which
around, you know.
this goes back to something we talked about a couple weeks ago, that you should build a
Yeah,
game to be fun, not to
right.
make money.
Not to
Because the
make
money
money.
will come if the game
If the
is
game
fun.
is fun. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. But at the same time, like there's some instances where money helps the game grow, right? It's like a constant Kickstarter or just a constant funding to push for more um, bells and whistles in the coming. Like for example, Minecraft was $20, and that I mean that money pretty much went towards adding new textures and new updates and stuff for the game, which I don't mind. I don't mind dishing out money if it's going towards something. But if it's just like if it's just money in their pockets because they're trying to build their bottom line, right? Their income.
Well, I mean,
That's
they
I feel
need
like
to.
that's wrong rather
These
than
companies need
putting
to
it
make
back
money
towards
somehow, but
yeah,
if you're selling a finished product, that's fine. Monetize it. Do what you need to do.
right,
But if you're monetizing with microtransactions, if you're doing a continuous monetization strategy, yeah, you better be adding shit to your product.
right, right. Because I feel like a lot of time, like a lot of games I've been noticing nowadays is just they're they're adding monetization in the wrong form, right? They're adding monetization to just have money, I guess, and then you don't really see anything in return. Like you're not seeing updates, like you're not seeing bug fixes, you're not seeing, I mean, if there is bug fixes, it might be like months down the line. You're just like,
Yeah, I mean, we've
where's
talked about this ad nauseum too. Like it's ridiculous what these companies are doing these days.
and to go backwards a little bit about these game launchers. So, I have a game that I actually really I can't find a good spot for my microphone because it keeps like cutting out or something. I might have a bad XLR cable.
It
Um,
sounds good right now. It was
okay,
echoey for a little bit before, but I
was
think
it?
you got a little bit closer, so I
Yeah,
think
maybe.
that's what it did.
Okay. Anyways, because like to me it's constantly echoey, so I just don't know if what you guys are hearing. Um, but Torchlight is a game that I love. I've loved it since the first Torchlight, and I just found out that there is another Torchlight called Torchlight Infinite or Infinity or something like that. But you only can get it through a third-party launcher. It's not accessible anywhere else. It's on a launcher. It's a launcher exclusive.
Don't say that. I don't
It
want
is.
anyone getting an idea.
It's a fucking launcher exclusive. You think I'm kidding? Look
Nah.
up. It's like Tap Tap or something like that. Tap.io or something like that is the name. You have to download that launcher just to be able to play the game, but you also have to sign up for like their newsletter and bullshit. Like you can't just skip you can't just be like, "Oh no, thank you for your newsletter."
And
Nope,
that's
you have
why
to.
people recommend that you set up like burner accounts and everything because we got people doing this kind of shit.
Right. And I just feel like the gaming industry is just heading down the wrong path when it comes to games. I feel like a lot of these companies that were just top of the line at one point have now just flipped and like for example, Blizzard was a beloved company at one time and now it's slowly having its entire uh player base turn against it on every turn, whether it be Diablo, the new Dragonflight, the WoW expansion, the alpha was released to some people, and they're already like, this fucking is stupid because apparently there's some mount that you get for having 500 mounts, you get another mount, but it's just a reskin of a mount that you already get.
I mean, they've been doing that for a while. I actually saw the opposite of that, so that's interesting. I saw people saying that Dragonflight is the breath of fresh air that WoW needed.
Well, I mean, I've seen that too, but a lot of people were, kind of saying because it is an alpha,
I mean,
anything can
yeah,
change.
content wise, like I'm not too worried about it.
Right, but at the same time, it's an alpha, right? The alpha was released, so who knows what's going to be released with the final product? They're going to be like, all right, you're going to have to spend $1 every time you want to ride your mount. Who knows? I mean, that's pretty much what happened with
with Diablo Immortal, people were saying that the alpha for Diablo Immortal was the gold standard for the Diablo. Like it was the Diablo Immortal that people wanted was the alpha. And then when the final game came out, people were like, "What the fuck is this?" Even in the beta, they're like, "Wow, that's not looking good. If this is going to be in the final product, that's not good." And people were trying to get it to revert back to the alpha stage, and it just never did. It got a lot worse. So
Yeah, and talking about companies that are falling apart, did you just see that
343, yes,
yeah, did you just Jerry Hook, their design lead, like left?
yes,
And
yes.
he formed his own
I
company. Did you
believe
see
you
who he
mentioned that
formed it
last
with?
episode.
No. This is a different one.
Oh,
Jerry
okay, go on.
Hook was the lead like game director or something.
Okay,
Like you have the head of design who's Joseph Staten, and
okay.
then Jerry Hook was underneath him, and he left the company. He formed his own company.
Oh,
I need to look up what the company name is, but what actually caught my interest was who he's partnering with for funding and to make this thing a
oh,
reality.
please don't be fucking Activision.
NetEase.
Netties,
NetEase, the company.
nutties.
NetEase is the Chinese
Okay.
mobile developer that
Oh
is
yeah.
behind
Okay.
Diablo Immortal.
Well, they're
J-
they're not
yeah, NetEase was the one that developed Diablo.
developed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
So, um, the first thing he said was, "Thank you. We're looking forward to partnering with NetEase. We are not making we are not a mobile game company
Yet.
yet.
Yet. Yeah.
Yet.
We're gonna have mobile aspects, but we're not a mobile company. It's gonna have some things that you could do on the phone, but not the game isn't gonna be on the mobile. Just parts of it are.
Yeah.
You're gonna eventually have to find lore cards that you're then gonna have to look up on your phone and then scan the QR code, and then you get an NFT. Who fucking knows? You know?
And you get an NFC. Yeah.
God, man. I mean, so wait. So you know how Doctor Disrespect is coming out? He started his game company, right? And part of his game is gonna have crypto tied into his game. Is that gonna be affected by the crypto crash?
Yes, because it's effectively a cryptocurrency. Like
Right. So
it needs to be back
scrap that
to
fucking
a
idea.
blockchain, like
Wasn't
of some
wasn't
sort.
Tarkov thinking of doing their
God
own
no.
coin?
Well, yeah, they were thinking about doing not actually doing it. They were gonna tie it
Do
to some random blockchain and just have it in game. So that
right.
way, like the in-game currency would fluctuate the same, which they ended up scrapping that and just tying Bitcoin to the real-world value. But then they decoupled that 2 patches ago because when everything spiked,
Yeah.
the cost of Bitcoin. Okay, so right now Bitcoin should be somewhere between 100K and like 150K in game.
Right. Right. Yes. That's actually
There was a point
accurate.
to where we were selling bitcoins for 800 plus thousand rubles. It completely broke the economy.
I mean,
You
I
were
know.
getting a
I was
million rubles multiple times a day for
yeah,
free.
I remember I had max I had a max at that time. I had a max Bitcoin farm, and I think by the end of the patch, because I didn't even play, I just like would log in to get my Bitcoin. I think by the end of when I stopped just going on and collecting my Bitcoin, I was at I think like 32 mil, just because I was just selling Bitcoin. I mean, I literally just sold all of my stuff in my inventory and then just put it all towards like graphics cards and
Yeah,
stuff
it
like
was
that to put into
nuts.
the
It was crazy.
I mean, there was no point in having anything when you had that much money. You could literally just buy it, which is just
Yeah, like
yeah. So I think they should do something like that where it's a crypto instead of like Bitcoin, have it be like Tarkov coin or something, something Chad coin. I don't
It
know.
was gonna be tar coin, is what it was.
Tar coin. That's dumb. Rat coin would be better. So rat coin, you just it fluctuates with the flea market prices, stuff like that, and player base, and how much
Well, I
money
mean,
is
they
being
also have
circulated.
the GP coin in there too, which whatever the
Bro,
hell that
that
shit is.
GP coin is, yeah, I think that was the original, was GP coin. But you know what I want to see in Tarkov? I want them to do more damn like holiday events, because we have Christmas, right? Christmas one is fun. They need to have one for Halloween. 100%, like this, like a spooky, but also
They
like
did last patch. Well, not last patch. Last 20.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. They had like
What was it? Patch 12.12. They had
pumpkin heads.
pumpkin masks with gigantic like flashlights for eyeballs.
That's right. I do remember that. But they need more of that kind of shit,
Yeah.
because that shit's cool. But I want them to do, like, around Christmas time, just re-render the maps to have fucking snow.
I want
I want a
snow.
snow map so bad.
I want snow, and I want to be able to track people with footprints. Like,
Yeah.
like
I mean,
you see a footprint, and you're like, you would have to not have it mimic reality. It would have to cover over really fast. But if you see a footprint, you're like, oh shit, someone's been here like less than a minute ago.
Can you imagine me in a gunfight on customs, right outside of like, what's it called? Skeleton, and it's just a blizzard outside?
It would be sick.
Awesome.
Like, it would be so much fun. I would love.
Yeah, it would. It would just like that really bright fog, or oh my gosh, nighttime blizzard on woods.
It would be so good. Like a snow map would be amazing, and being able to track
It would make
people
sense
down,
because it's in Russia, where
like,
it's very fucking cold.
Like you get a heavy bleed or whatever, and you see a trail of blood through the snow. Like, it would be so fun to track people. It would add a whole nother level to the game to actually be able to like track.
Right. Well, I mean, you can kind of do that with like blood stains, anyways.
Oh, we've done that many times. Like in a
yeah.
gunfight, you're like, oh, that guy's got a heavy bleed, and we like fan out, find the puddles, and like he's healing, doing surgery in a bush, and you're like, this bush is making noises.
The bush is making noises. Okay. I mean, that reminds me. So I was on, I forgot what I was doing the ambulances on Shoreline, and someone hurt, like, because I threw a smoke grenade, because I mean, I didn't want to be seen marking the ambulance, because it's right outside of the resort, and we knew that there was people in there in Sanitar's office. So I threw a smoke grenade, and I was hiding in the smoke, and I was marking, and then I ran away. Sure enough, someone comes out of Sanitar's office and starts shooting at us, kills my partner. I'm sitting there bleeding. Anyways, I Vaselined up prior. I pre-PK'd, and I'm like hiding in a bush, and I just hear them running around me, and they're like voiping like, "We're gonna find you, boy. Where are you off to? We're gonna find you sooner or later." And they never found me because I was so good at hiding. And then as soon as they ran away to go loot my partner, of course, my painkiller ran out. And because they blew out my stomach, I was gasping for air. And yeah, I actually made it to the extract.
We kind of had a similar thing. We were getting out on Shoreline, and there's like 6 minutes left, and I found one of the red flares. So I'm like, hey, let's shoot this off and get an airdrop. So as soon as we did it, we just hear like running from all angles, and we're like, oh my god, like this is a scav call sign. Like, we killed like 7 player scavs in a matter of like 30 seconds, but there was a duo that came up, and we were all like hanging out in bushes, and the one guy is just playing like bluegrass, like country over VoIP while he's like running through the field.
Green grass and high forever.
We're like sitting there like, what the hell is that? And my buddy like pokes out of a bush, and he's like, pop, and the music just stops, and we're like, yep, he's dead. Like,
Dude, that's the way to go. I would be playing like Kelly Clarkson or something, you know.
Oh, it was so good. It was hilarious.
Okay. Why? You know what I haven't been seeing? So everyone, I feel like everyone's on Shooterborn. How come I haven't seen any clips of anyone shooting off a flare for an airdrop as bait to get Shooterborn kills?
So we that's funny. So we were sitting there. We were sitting there and
What's
we
funny?
heard we heard
This is
someone
the
do that. We were on Shoreline again, and we were
okay.
right by Blue Fence Construction by the rock stash, and we heard a pop. It was just like a firecracker up at Weather, and we're like, "What the fuck was that?" Like we've never heard that noise before, and then we hear an airdrop come in like 30 seconds later. We're like, "That was a flare." And it drops in the open field right there by the UAV.
Right.
And we're like, that's bait. That is
Yeah,
bait.
100% bait.
So we all just set up and
100%
we're
bait.
just sitting there waiting. And
That's such a smart move. I'm
yeah.
surprised that I haven't heard much people even do that.
One of our friends that we play with, a family member, a old coworker of yours, it got impatient.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna go do it. We're like, you do that, you're gonna get shot. Like, just chill out. He's like, nope,
Yep.
full send. So he just like trucks on over, and as soon as he goes to search it, pop right in the head. And we're like, oh, now we know where he is, but you died.
Right.
Like,
I mean, that full send mentality in video games is always like, it doesn't matter what game you play. As soon as you hear someone say full send, you're just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna watch how this plays out. It's not gonna end well, but at least I'll get the clip of you screaming at your monitor.
It's entertaining, but I mean, it didn't end well for him, but it ended well for us. We got like 4 kills off it because we saw where the people were camping it, and we got a shit ton of loot. So, but yes, we have seen that exact scenario happen, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, we had a buddy. So we had an airdrop drop in on Woods because, like I said, I love Woods. Woods is my favorite map. It's the best map in the game, arguably. There's no comparison. Every other map is far inferior. So we hear an airdrop. It's a night. No, it's Woods is by far the best map. So there was a airdrop that happened over by med camp, right? And so we're like, oh, we're right here. Let's go for it. Well, so was everyone else on the map was right there, but it seemed like everyone else had shit ammo. Because I mean, it was like the beginning of the wipe, so everyone had really bad ammo. I felt like I took a billion rounds just crawling my way to this airdrop, right? I was being shot by 7mm buckshot, with I didn't even have a helmet on. I took all my gear off. I was like, all right, you sit back. I'm gonna lure them out. You snipe them while I'm crawling over to the thing. I'm gonna leave my gear here. I'm gonna take my helmet. I took my helmet off. I took my armor off. No, I left my armor on. I took my helmet off. Took my backpack off, and I set that down. That way, no one would be able to find it, and I'd get it back in insurance. And I crawled my way like 50 meters to this airdrop. Suddenly, out of the woodwork, I'm just being peppered by all sides. I'm being shot by the one-shot Mosin, that thing. And my friend's just sitting there just plink, 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 shooting people in the face. And we ended up, like, I'm just laying there, like, patching myself up with a grizzly. I'm like, you get them all? He's like, I think there's one more. I'm like, I'll get him. Just let me fix my arm, as I'm like pulling out my serve kit out of my ass, and I'm fixing my arm. And all I had was what I have. I think I was on the quest where you have to get kills with a Mosin with no sight. So I'm just sitting there just Mosining people, like trying to just supply some type of cover fire or hit someone. And he's like, I think there's someone on the other side of the rock. I was like, I'll get him. And I just like break my legs broken, so I'm hobbling. He pops out, starts shooting me with a pistol. I'm still alive, and my friend just doinks him in the face, and we ended up getting the airdrop.
which then turned out to be a bunch of meds. So I healed myself up pretty well.
When you play solo, you get really good, like, you feel good when you kill like a 5-man yourself or like a 3-man yourself. You're like, yeah, I outplayed. But when you play with a group, you get some hilarious shit that happens. Like that
100%.
like that story. And then we were on shore. We've been doing a lot of shoreline because we're all on shoreline tasks.
Oh, yeah. Punisher
yesterday,
and whatnot.
yesterday we're in resort, we're about to leave, and my buddy's on the SVD kills, like Punisher Part 5 or whatever. And
Okay.
or
Part 5,
yeah, and he sees some people down at bus station, and he takes a couple shots at them from the roof, and they run away. They like run to cottage, so they leave and they go down the hill towards cottage. And I'm like, okay, they're chasing him. I'm gonna go hit the stash on the ridge by the ammo truck, and then I'm gonna hit the one under the power line, and I'll meet you guys over there. And the team of 2 that they were shooting went down through the trees, cut across Suicide Field, and then went up towards Pat the Lighthouse.
Right.
So as I'm running through the open field, just like minding my own business, I see 2 people looking at me, and I would just like turn around slowly, and I walk away, and I'm like, guys, I found them. And they start shooting at me. They break my leg, so I'm like in a bush, like popping a PK, like trying to run away. I'm like, guys, you coming? They're right behind me. They're chasing me. Like, I ended up surviving. My team ended up killing them, getting their kills, but it was like they chased me thinking they were going to get an easy kill, but they ended up getting like sidelined by like a team of 3 from nowhere. And it's just stuff like that that you can't like experiences like that is why I love Tarkov.
Well, yeah, because like we were like some of the funnest things also is on the I was looking at like just Tarkov stuff lately, and one of the things was like if you want to get better at Tarkov, Factory is your best map. Like that's the best map to learn how to play Tarkov. It's not customs, it's not any other map, it's Factory, because you learn to PvP, you learn that how to work with engagements and stuff like that. So we had a bunch of tasks on Factory, so I load up Factory, and I still need pistol kills. To this day, I still need pistol kills on PMCs. So I'm like, all right, I'm going in, Glock 18C, 50-round drum, just going in.
Do you at least have the stock on it?
Rounds. Huh?
Did you put the stock on it so you could actually like not shoot at the moon?
No.
Okay.
So anyways, we're just like going around, and like I forgot what quests we were doing. I know I still needed pistol kills. Oh, Postman Pat. I was doing Postman Pat, and then we had to do another thing. And so we ended up going over by the labs tent, and we hear running. We're like, oh, running. And so we're like, okay, it stopped. And we're like, well, okay, he must be below, because obviously there's no one up here. So we drop down. It's fucking Tagilla, right? So we start shooting him, and so he runs off, and we're like, okay. So the other task was we had to go and get all of the extracts.
That asshole holds a grudge. He will hunt you down.
Right. So we went from all the way from Postman Pat, and we had to go to the cellar as our final door for that quest where you have to find all the different exits and Factory.
Yeah.
So we go over to the cellar, and we just hear running again, and we're like, oh fuck, player, because we thought it sounded like he was coming from Glass Hall. So we peeked Glass Hall, and there wasn't anyone there. It was just like a normal scav. So we pop him real quick, and all of a sudden, up the stairs runs Tagilla. Right, so we just start spraying into him. I'm just like with my Glock. My friend's like trying to reload, like and stuff like that. Meanwhile, at the same time, 3 scabs open up the door and just rush in. One has a Taz, just peppers me in the chest. Right, we're losing limbs and stuff like that. Tagilla is in my face, pretty much just like ready to swing his sledgehammer, and I'm reloading. I'm like, and I just lit him up again, but because the recoil on it is so strong. I was pretty much only hitting him in the face at that point.
Yeah.
So when he finally died, his armor was zeroed, his helmet was zeroed, he had no ammo in his shotgun. He had nothing worth grabbing on him.
The scavs and the bosses have been nuts. Like that same situation happened to Jamie and I twice with Sanitar.
Sanitar is ruthless.
Like
he chased us from his cottage. He chased us from there all the way to resort. Ruthless.
I haven't seen that, but we've had the spawn in the back corner, the closest one to resort, and we're like, okay, let's rush resort. Like twice in a row, him and his goons spawned right on that side of the theater. So as we run in, they're screaming, already shooting at us, and we're like, oh shit. And then the next time we go in that way, and they're running from like West Wing through admin, just sprinting down the hallway, like screaming at us in Russian, and we're like, what do you do? Like,
right. Well, he chased us from cottage up to bus stop, like on the side of I think that's West Wing.
Yeah.
So he chased us right there to like the side of West Wing, and and then he just disappeared. We don't know if someone else killed him or what, but like, he just disappeared.
He ghosted you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens sometimes, you know. There's full engagement at the beginning, and then they just ghost you once they realize they're not going to get what they're going to get. So
you win some, you lose some.
I don't know. Killa has been just stupid lately.
I had that dude rush me too, and that
Killa rushes you no matter what. You can be like, all right, guys, we're spawning in 3, 2, 1. All right, Killa's rushing us. Like, it doesn't even matter.
All the other bosses, they will sprint at you, and if you light them up, they'll run around it. They'll run back and try to heal. Killa, he sprints at you, does his little like soccer slide, and then he lights you up.
Well, yeah, he's doing like the landmark thing where he's just like gorilla gripping his gun. He's like, ooh.
Yeah, he gives zero shits, and that man's
I haven't seen Reshala. What the fuck happened to Reshala?
I've ran into him a couple times.
I feel like they just like, all right, guys, Rashala's dead in the lore, so
well, they did they nerfed all the boss spawns. Every boss is 20% right now.
I feel like that's bullshit because I think I run into Sanitar and Sturman every fucking raid.
Yeah, I mean I take.
So if you ever need Sanitar
number.
If you ever need Sanitar or Sturman kills, just log in with me or play a raid with me on either of those maps, and I guarantee you he'll spawn in.
Oh wow! Wait, what's today?
Today is the 19th.
They just buffed a bunch yesterday. Oh wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All 556 platforms got buffed.
Oh, I thought that. Wait, 556.
M4.
Yeah.
Anything that shoots an M4 round got buffed.
So you're saying 855 is now no longer just a BB gun?
Well, no. So the the ammo got buffed a couple weeks ago, slightly, but all the guns got buffed.
Recoil?
Yep. All the recoil got lowered.
Okay. Well, the reason why I only know today is the 19th is, I mean, the days have been a blur lately now that I'm working a lot of overtime, so I just don't even remember what day it is anymore. So, I know today is the 19th only because Marauders beta comes out tomorrow, and I'm super excited for Marauders. Have you been following at all with what Marauders is all about?
No,
I
haven't. Please enlighten me.
So it's Tarkov type, thing where you go into a raid and you gotta find like gear and stuff like that, and if you die, you lose everything. However,
raid-based
there
leader,
is
got
space. There's space. Okay, so think of space Tarkov, but you enter the raid on a spaceship, right? And you can shoot down other ships. You can board other ships, right? So you can shoot off into a what's it called? A escape pod, and then you can crash into other people's spaceships, raid their spaceship, and then take all their loot, and then just harvest their fucking spaceship.
That sounds
For
horrible.
what do you
Like
mean? That's fucking
it's
cool.
well, it sounds cool, but it sounds like a horrible experience to be on the opposite end of.
Yes, but at the same time, you like they're called like boarding parties. But like, so if you go in with like a team of 5, like you and your friends and stuff like that, one of you is flying the spacecraft, 2 of you can be on guns, and the others will be part of like boarding parties, right? So those people will be in space pods going and raiding other people's ships and whatnot, because you can't just like leave your ship out in the middle of space, right?
Yeah, I
Like
mean, well, you could.
well, you could, but I mean, that'd be dumb. But then when you're not doing like space battles, right? You're going and like parking into different areas. Like there's like a, you can go onto like asteroids and like loot on the asteroid, or you can go into um different facilities that are floating around out in space. You can go into those and start looting
Really?
those and whatnot. Yeah, and then
That's interesting.
they have a cool mechanic where like the loading bay has a little box, right? Where if you go and you loot and shit and you see stuff that you can't carry on you, you can go and you can put that stuff in the loading in like the box, right? The drop box. And
Okay.
then that stuff gets loaded into your spacecraft. That way, and then you can go back in and get more gear or go more stuff. So
That's
you
a
can
cool
just keep
mechanic.
yeah, so you can keep going back in and getting more stuff until like that loot box is like is
How
full.
long are the raids or the whatever they call them?
I want to say they're pretty long. They're pretty long raids, but you don't just escape, right? You have to get back into your ship, and then you have to fly to an extraction place. So you have to fly in, go and loot, then you have to get back into your spacecraft and fly out before you can finally say that you are safe.
That sounds like a pain in the ass.
It's so much fucking fun though.
I'm
It's
gonna
so
need to give
fucking
it a
fun.
go.
Go just like go yeah. So the beta comes out tomorrow. It's closed beta, so you would have to pay for it to get the beta. But yeah, it's check it out. It's what maraudergame.com or something like that.
Yeah, I'll pull it from the show notes last week.
Yeah, it's also on Steam, so you can just type in Marauders on Steam, and it can link you
It
to their
is it
website.
on the single best storefront, the single best launcher?
It's probably it's its own launcher. God dang it, dude! My launcher's got launchers.
Wait, did you just describe the Epic Game Store?
I mean, I pretty much just subscribe Steam.
I downloaded I have the Epic Game Store for one reason only, and that's because they give me free games all the time.
That's what's really cool about gaming nowadays is this, where they're just like, all right, here's free games now.
Well, yeah, that's because they realize that if you play games on their platform, you're more likely to buy games on their platform. So
Do
they
you
just give
remember?
you
Do
free.
you remember back in the days when you had to buy a magazine for a demo disc?
You bought those?
Excuse me?
I went to Kmart and I just took them out of the bag.
Shh. Man, that's. I never did that. I bought the magazines, and I played all the demos. I didn't pirate
Well,
games.
I mean, I totally subscribe to like all of the gaming magazines too. So, like, I got them in the mail eventually.
You ever? Okay, I know this is kind of an illegal topic, but I mean, granted. What have you ever pirated a game? And if you have, what game did you pirate?
Do bears shit in the woods?
I mean, sometimes they shit in the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, not recently, but
Well, obviously, but
I mean, now
what,
that I'm a contributing adult, I can buy my own games.
Now that we make adult money, we have access to adult money.
But I don't know. What was the last? I can't remember. Actually, I do remember. It was Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, I was a poor college
Classic.
kid, and I was a huge Fallout fan. I
Back when
played
Fallout was good.
played the living shit out of Fallout 3. I just had beaten it when it came out, when New Vegas came out, and I was like, I want to play this so bad. I don't have the money. To anyone from Obsidian that is listening, I have since purchased the game like 4 different times. I have a collector's edition for Xbox. Like, yes, I have put my money back into you. Thank you very much for your games.
You put your money where, or you put your mouth. Oh wait. Anyways, so the last game
I put my money where my internet was.
Yeah, okay.
No,
You paid
yeah.
for their vault.
I mean, and that right there is that story is kind of like why I don't. Yeah, piracy is a big thing, and when you have people ripping your game off and then selling it on like a black market, that's a problem. But if you have someone like a college kids who, I would rather if I put out a game, I would rather people play my game and tell their friends like, "Hey, this game's awesome, go play it."
I love when games like game companies put in anti-piracy things to their game. Right?
They're usually hilarious.
Like, everyone knows of the classics like Game Dev Tycoon, right? Where if you pirate the game, your games in that game get pirated, therefore you make a lot less money.
No, you want to talk about the classic. Goes all the way back to
Spyro.
No, Mother 3 for NES.
Spyro was the worst.
So you get all the way to the last boss in Mother 3.
Okay.
And in Mother 3, which is also Earthbound 3.
Earthbound, yeah. Earthbound.
You get to the last boss and they talk about how like some like fourth wall breaking shit, and the game shuts off and it deletes your save.
That's nothing. Okay, compared to Spyro. Spyro the Dragon made it so that as you were going through the game, you would just randomly start losing eggs. So you'd have to constantly go back and collect those eggs so that you could progress. Then, as you're battling, you would have to like re-battle bosses and stuff like that. And if you managed to finally get to the last boss, the game would then turn off and delete your save and corrupt the game so you cannot play it anymore.
Just go back and re-download it.
It wouldn't do it. It wouldn't work it. It wouldn't work anymore.
It wouldn't work it.
It wouldn't work it.
No worky.
Error. No worky. Title?
No can has Spyro?
No can has Spyros. But no, I think a lot of those games, like if it's a game that has anti-piracy measures into it, I think that's just fun. Honestly, I want to hear about more.
I think it's lighthearted fun. But yeah, and at the same time, like this kind of goes back to like monetization strategies. Like if you make a game worth purchasing, people won't pirate it.
I don't think that's true. I think
okay,
there's going to be people that are going to be pirating
that. Yeah, you're gonna have people, but if the game is worth playing and purchasing, someone who pirated it will be more likely to go out and purchase to support the development.
I feel like
you have multiple types of piracy. You have I'm not going
to completely disagree with what you're saying, but I feel like if the game is very like a big title, right, that everyone is buying, that's going to be a reason for people to pirate even more, because I mean, they'll be like, okay, I got this game for free,
Well, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people who pirated like Elden Ring, but you lose some of the best features of the game. Like the game's great, and being able to co-op and help battle the bosses and stuff is really fun. And getting like all the updates and everything, like piracy these days is you have a couple things. You have people trying to pirate it and sell it in like countries where it's unavailable. Like that,
Right.
you know, that's how CD Projekt Red started, right?
No, I didn't know that.
CD Projekt Red started out as a legal Polish importer of games. So they would pirate the games, they would localize it into Polish, and then they would resell it in Poland. And that's why their platform, their game front, Good Old Games, GOG, is DRM free, because they got their starts from doing that kind of stuff, so they feel like that they should give back to the community. But you got people who are trying to make a buck, you got people who want to play the game and want to buy it but can't afford it, and then you just got the people who don't give a shit and are just going to pirate everything under the sun because they want to.
They believe that everything should be open source.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I like when games do like not just anti-cheat stuff, like anti-piracy stuff, but like anti-cheat things. So you mentioned CD Projekt Red, and it immediately made me think of The Witcher, or The Witcher 3, where people were like killing cows or something like that because you could sell the leather for like a lot of gold or whatever, and then turn around and just kill the cow again for more leather. And then because that caught wind, they added a lore thing to it where there's a cow beast that would come out. You can't kill it, and it would come out and fucking attack you if you killed too many cows. And it's like an anti-cheat kind of measure, but it goes into the lore. So I thought that was fucking cool when they did that. I think more games need stuff like that.
Yeah, that stuff's fun. Like what was the other one? I mean, this isn't really lore based, it's anti-cheat, but Warzone, to where if it sees that you're cheating, it makes your bullets do no damage. So then you'll just shoot at people and they won't die, and then they're just getting hit, like they're getting hit mark or they're getting bullet punched, but they're not taking damage. So they know where you are and they can just hunt your shit down. And then they put in another one recently to where if you're cheating, it turns every other player on the map invisible, so you can't see any players.
Why can't Tarkov have something like this?
I mean,
where if it detects that you're cheating, everyone can see where you're at.
Yeah, that would be funny.
It just.
I mean,
like anytime or the way they should do it is they should make it so that if it detects that you're cheating, not only does it just alert every scav to your location, but anytime you shoot your gun, you shoot yourself.
That'd be great. Like,
that'd be sick.
They could totally do it too, because BattlEye is not a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not incapable. Like, it is a kernel level anti-cheat. Like, the service spins up as soon as you turn on your computer. Like, it's ring zero access anti-cheat. Like, it knows what's going on, so it has the ability to do all this shit. And I don't understand why they don't. But I mean,
at the same time, I think
like it's super easy. Like if
talked about it,
moving twice as fast as they're physically able to, they're cheating.
Right. Well, I think we talked about it on a previous episode where, yes, they could get rid of all of the cheaters in Tarkov with BattlEye and stuff like that, but I feel like they do make a significant amount of money of people keep buying accounts.
So I don't
not just resell, but
no. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go into that conspiracy theory bullshit.
What do you mean?
Okay, one.
It happens in gaming.
I'm gonna shoot this down so quick. There's so many reasons why that is horrible for the longevity of the game and antithetical to their goal as a developer. Is if they were ever found out to actually be not taking action because they're making money selling new accounts to cheaters, they're immediately discredited and
Well, they're not selling to cheaters. Cheaters are just buying more accounts because they're
yes.
because cheaters are literally making money off of those accounts.
Nikita has shut this down many times directly in interviews. He's like, that's bullshit. Fuck those people. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. Someone goes, wait, the account gets banned, I just make a new account, BSG profits. Like, of course they're gonna not do that. It's just some conspiracy bullshit, but it is in BSG's best interest to deal with the cheaters and make the game actually playable and not toxic, full of hackers, because that's going to build rapport and respect from the community, from the players, and people are going to have more time, they're going to have a better time playing the game, and they're going to play it longer because they don't have to worry about hackers.
You talk about more respect from the players. There's every time you go on Twitter or any type of thing that talks about Tarkov, whether it be Reddit or wherever, there's always some motherfucker out there complaining about desync or this not having enough servers, or why don't they just fix the lag? You talk about like respect. I feel like there's more disrespect from people because they just don't understand what the fuck's going on. They're just making excuses like
complainers are always going to complain no matter what, though.
Fix inertia. Like fuck you.
It's just human nature. Like, if you're gonna say something, if you're gonna give a review, if you're gonna give a negative review,
Quantum TV,
all you need to do is, in order to drive someone to give a negative review, that experience needs to be at least in the bottom 50% of your experiences in that category.
right?
If like below the median. In order to give a positive review, your experience needs to be in the top 20% of all experiences. Like, there's a disproportionate amount of experience that you're going to complain about as to give props to. Okay. And that's like, the people who complain are always going to complain because they're the loudest,
right?
And that's why that all happens. But
the squeaky wheel gets the grease or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
The squeaky grease gets the wheel. But no, like, speaking of game, I know we're almost out of time, but one final thing here. Speaking of game reviews, how come we are at a time where we rely so much on game reviews from game review channels or different types of gaming media, where I feel like it's biased? How come we don't have game review channels where you have to log so many hours into a game before you can finally submit a review that's not done by a game company, but also it has, like, you know what I'm saying? It actually has to be driven by players. I mean, yes, they have stuff like that, like Metacritic and stuff like that, but I feel like anyone can go on those websites and just submit a review without actually having to play the game,
Yeah, and they do it all the time. Like, you hear about movies and games getting review bombed because of something that the company did that is completely, like, not even has anything to do with the game itself.
Right.
But
I feel like we need a review channel that is, more driven by actual players of the game, right?
But, I mean, there are those, but the problem is when you give the open ability, you're gonna always get trolls. So I think the question here for the audience is, how do you look up reviews that you feel comfortable with?
Right. Okay. That's a good one. Well, let us know down below in the comment section on how you feel review channels or game reviews should be given and stuff like that. I always find my game reviews being done by streamers before I buy, kind of things. But anyways, that's going to be it for tonight's episode. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Twitch for live content. Our audio listeners out there, leave a like and review on our podcast wherever you listen to our media, whether it be Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts. But it would help us out a ton if you just leave a review, leave a comment. You know, tell your friends and family about the channel. And is there anything else? Oh, be sure to follow us on our personal accounts over on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube, at TheAlmightyShid and at Valhalliant. I'm thinking about trying to get back into streaming. I know anxiety has been a real bitch lately, so it's been tough getting back into the streaming thing. But is there anything else you want to pimp? Anything else?
I think that I'm gonna start like after this, like after our live recording, just editing live on my channel as well. Just so I'm tired of waiting till the last minute.
Well, no, here the thing. Okay, I know we're right here at the end, but I wanted to ask you this earlier, and I wanted to ask you offline. But I mean, since we're here, how come? Because you love Tarkov so much, and I know you did YouTube videos for Valorant, and I actually thought that was very informative information for Valorant. It actually made me kind of get into Valorant a little bit at the time. Why haven't you done any like YouTube videos for Tarkov and stuff like that?
The game's so damn big. I want to.
Well, right.
I really want to, but I just can't. I'm having a hard time finding that niche, that where I'm gonna be interested enough to make a video about something.
Right. I mean, all you would have to, like, did you see I gave you an idea earlier today. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did, and I think I could do something with that, but we're gonna have to like limit it to like specific.
Well, just items, not items, not game like gun parts and stuff.
Something that's like at least halfway predictable.
Anyways, without giving it away, that'll be something.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
But yeah, you're welcome to take that. But anyways, is that it? Anything else you want to pimp out?
No. I mean, you guys can, like he said, follow us on our channels. I'll be live shortly after this. Got to do some stuff with the doggies.
And what time do you usually go live?
Whenever I feel like it. I need to set up a schedule again. But
yeah, I'm thinking about when my schedule is going to be 6:30 to whenever I decide to get off. I don't like having an end time because sometimes you can be like, I'm not really feeling gaming, and you can get off early, or so I feel like having an end time. But
we'll catch you later, guys. Thanks for joining, and be sure to hop in next week.
All right. ChknAtk, episode 11.
Peace.